All right, we are here to record a screencast of Algebra 1 LT6 Exponent Rules, practice quiz number 2. Let's go through it. Level 1, simplify the expression. What we're working with right now, it's called the product property. The key here is when we see the same base, C, C, K, K, what do? We're going to add the exponents, all right? But only the exponents with the same base. So what does that mean? I see here c to the 6th, and I see c to the 5th. I see k cubed, and I see k to the 8th. Right. 6 and 5 add to be 11. 3 and 8 also multiply to be 11. So c to the 11th, k to the 11th. Another way you could think about this is c to the 6th is like c times c times c times c times c times c. There's 6. And then there are 3 k's. The second term here, c to the 5th, k 8th, we've got c, 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 and then 8 k's. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many total c's do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How many k's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Either way, if you want to expand it, or if you know your properties where we add the exponents when we're multiplying terms with the same base. The second one, 4d cubed times 3d to the 5th. I'm going to encourage you to rearrange these a little bit. So 4 times 3 are coefficients times d cubed times d to the 5th. 4 times 3 works out to be 12. D cubed times d to the 5th power. Here we add the exponents to get d to the 8th. Why is it d to the 8th? 3d's times 5. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Level 1. Second level. It's called the power property. You don't need to know the name of the property, just how it works. When you have something to a power raised to another power, what do? We're going to multiply the exponents. Let's think about what's going on here. 2p cubed to the 5th power. That's like 2p cubed times 2p cubed times 2p cubed times 2p cubed times 2p cubed. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 32. Again, 32 comes from multiplying 2 by itself 5 times. And then here you can see 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15. We could have known it was 15 looking back here. 3 times 5, a power raised to a power, 3 times 5 is 15. So that's our final answer. Same idea over here on this one. 6w x to the 4th power, all raised to the 3rd power. That looks like this. 6w x to the 4th times 6w x to the 4th times 6w x to the 4th. 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. W times w times w is w cubed. X to the 4th times x to the 4th is x to the 8th times x to the 4th is x to the 12th. Looking back at our original problem, we could have seen w cubed is w cubed. X to the 4th cubed, multiply 4 times 3 to get 12. All right, let's go to the second page, the back side. For level 3, quotient rule. When we are dividing terms with the same base, we're going to subtract. So we've got e to the 8th over e squared. What does that look like? That's like e times 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 e over e times e. When we cancel out, what are we left with? We're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. E to the 6th. We could have also seen this from looking at e to the 8th over e squared. 8 minus 2 equals 6. 8 minus 2 equals 6. Because they're canceled out, we take them away. We're left with 6. Now, for the second one, a little more complicated. I'm going to approach this like 3 different fractions being multiplied. First fraction is my coefficients, 25 over 30. My second fraction are my w's, w to the 9th power over w to the 7th. Lastly, my x's, x squared over x to the 5th. Let's simplify our fraction first. What's the greatest common factor of 25 and 30? That would be 5. So I'm going to rewrite that as 5 times 5. Rewrite 30 as 6 times 5. W 9th, W 7th, what happens? 9 minus 7 leaves us with 2. 2 minus 5. Well, think about this. What's going on here? You've got x times x over x times x times x times x times x. Where are the x's left over? Cancel out. I'm left with 3 on the bottom. On top, that means there's just a 1. So this is 1 over x cubed. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. That 3 goes on the bottom. So starting right here, we can see the 5's cancel out. So we have 5w squared times 1. We don't need the 1. We just multiply these together. Over 6 times 1. We don't need the 1. X cubed. That's our final answer. All right, let's go on to level 4. The last one. Again, the key to these things, just take it one step at a time. Just take it one step at a time. So on this last one, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try to simplify this top part up here. Q to the 5th to the 4th power. I see power properties, so now I'm going to multiply those two. So that gives me Q to the 20th over T to the 7th. Oops, that's a 7. Now the bottom, I'm going to simplify that. I see that they're being multiplied together, the terms are, so I need to add the exponents. Q to the 4th times Q cubed is Q to the 7th. T to the 8th times T, there's no number there, which means there's just a little 1. It's an exponent of 1. 8 plus 1 is T to the 9th. Now this problem looks a lot like the one we just did up here. Break it up into two fractions. Q to the 20th over Q to the 7th. 20 minus 7 is 13. T to the 7th over T to the 9th. Well, 7 on top, 9 on the bottom, so the extras are going to stay on the bottom. 7 minus 9 is negative 2. So it's 1 over T squared. Again, after I cancel out 7 T's, I'm left with 2 T's on the bottom. What does this work out to be? Our final answer? Q to the 13th over T squared. We don't need the 1's. All right, let's do the last one here. Is there anything I can cancel out on this one? 21x to the 5th over y to the 9th? There is not. How about on this term? Y to the 8th over 15xy squared. Well, I can cancel out something there. I see y to the 8th, and I see y squared. 8 minus 2 means 8 minus 2 is 6. There are 6 y's left on the top over 15x. Now, because they're being multiplied together, we can multiply them all together here to get 21 x to the 5th, y to the 6th, over 15 x, y to the 9th. Again, this looks just like the other problems we just did. So in that case, let's make it 3 separate fractions. 21 over 15 times x to the 5th over x times y to the 6th over y to the 9th. 21 divided by 15. Greatest common factor there is 3. 3 goes into 21 7 times, goes into 15 5 times. X to the 5th over x to the 1st. There's a little 1 there. If there's no exponent, the exponent is just a 1. 5 minus 1 is x to the 4th. Y to the 6th over y to the 9th. If I cancel out 6 y's on the top and bottom, I'm left with 3 on the bottom. Y cubed. So that right there is my final answer. Hope you found that helpful. Good luck.